All right, let's try this again. Hello, you can hear me. Yay. Oh boy, starting off this Tuesday strong, aren't I? My God. For whatever reason, it just didn't pick up. It just didn't pick up my mic at all. Zero. Like, it didn't exist. As far as my computer was concerned, my mic didn't exist, and I honestly don't know what happened. It's not the first time this has happened, but it's been a hot minute. Oh gosh. How y'all doing? Are y'all already done with today as much as I am? I skipped working out as well today too. Today's just one of those days, I guess. But we're gonna try our best with this as far as game design stuff. And see how much progress we can possibly make. Yeah. Got myself a fruit shake. Got myself pretty much good to go. Hopefully y'all are doing well as well. But yeah. So, okay. So what are we working on today? That's a good question. Let's pull up. Please tell me I was smart enough to actually pull up like the to-do list. We're creating a way to switch between the computer and peripherals. Right? We want to be able to just be like, oh, okay, we're making a thing where when we click on the computer, it will tell us that we've clicked the computer. We need a way for it to be able to be like, okay, are you detecting me clicking you? That's what we're doing. Hi. Oh, baby. Go. And I'm assuming, let's see. Switch to display. The reason I switched to display is because, well, that. Because you can't see this otherwise. It gets weird. We removed the text that allows us to like click and move because we don't need that anymore. We didn't, let me put it this way, we didn't remove it, we just made it so it didn't read it. But we can remove the hashtags and bring it back whenever we want. But there was a thing that we did that I remember that no matter where we clicked, it counted as the computer. On area 3D input event, viewport node, void. Actually just pressed, hit select. This is just saying if we hit select, then we get clicked computer. Alright, well, let us look around, shall we? Switch this over to... Yeah. Boom. Alright. Alright, so we want Godot. Let's see if I can zoom in. There we go. So it's easier for y'all. Godot, and we want select object in 3D space. How to click 3D objects in Godot. Maybe it is you. Let us see.
3D sphere mesh can't do the job on its own. Object to the screen. To detect if a 3D object has been clicked, we need something akin to a hitbox. In the Godot engine, this can be done with an area node.
And we have area node already good to go, right? Oh, we have a collision shape. You know what? We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this for right now, instead of switching back and forth. Okay. Let's see. So we have a collision shape instead of an area node. Let's see. Godot collision shape versus area node. Because if we're using the wrong thing, that would explain some things. A collision shape is only a shape. It doesn't do anything other than find an enclosed region. Area 2D is one of the collision object types, things that can detect collisions. When you add an area 2D, it doesn't have a shape. Is it round, square? The collision shape 2D lets you define that. Its name comes from the fact that it's a shape which is added to collision objects. I recommend that you read this to get an understanding. The answer is that where Unity uses the simple checkbox is trigger, Godot uses an entirely different object. Area 2D is equivalent to is trigger. Collision is equivalent to regular 2D in Unity. Or a collider. So we should be using area 2D, not collision. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Area 3D, create. What don't you like about this? Oh, it has no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects. Should I be using... I wonder if I should just be using an area 3D instead of a static body 3D. As well. It's not about 3D for physics. A static body is a simple body that is not intended to move. They don't consume any CPU resources in contrast to a rigid body, so they are great for scenario collision. A static body can be animated by using simulated motion node. Let's finish watching it.
So I'll add an area node to our sphere. When we first add an area node to our sphere, you'll notice a configuration warning. But not to worry, this is just Godot's way of telling us that we need to define the 3D shape of our area. To fix this, all we need to do is add a collision shape node as a child of this area.
Wait. So we still need a... I deleted it, but we still needed it.
I'll do that and make Godot happy. However, we get another configuration.
Collision shape. Okay. Collision shape 3D. And then we make it a square. Why don't you... This node has no shape. Should we... Should we just remove static body 3D? I feel like we just should. Adding collision shape 3D. Yeah. I think instead of static body, let's just do area 3D collision shape for now. I want this like way up here. And then delete static body. We'll do area 3D collision and then start from there.
Warning, just our luck. But again, are considered an collision. There are quite a few shapes to want to be able to save resource. Test object is a sphere. We'll choose its own set of customizable properties. Click on the shape resource to view these properties.
All right, let's make sure that it's fitting what we have in there. 3D, oh, nope. Let's go ahead and save. Let's go to 3D space. Collision shape. It's a little big. Area 3D. This also is a little big. Transform. There it is. It's a little big. Let's do 0.9. Oh yeah, this is one of those ones where it's like if you make it not symmetrical, that it's like it's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. All right. Do we want it so it's a little? Let's give it a little more leeway instead of a little less leeway. So that's fine. And then the collision shape is part of the 3D, so I think what if we need to move it, like change the size, then we'll just change the area 3D accordingly.
Our sphere shape has a radius property, which I'll change to match the radius of our object's 3D mesh, and then the node tab at the top of the inspector. The area node has an input event signal built into it that will fire anytime the mouse interacts with any of its child. When this signal fires, and then start this, we'll create a script on our 3D object editor to connect with.
Oh, we put the script on the actual
then we'll
sphere.
Use a new function for us in the code. When the signal fire, which will automatically, we'll use the Godot editor to connect node. Then we'll use the Godot editor to connect the area node signal to the script, which will automatically generate a new function for us in the code. When the signal fires, it will pass this function quite a few useful properties.
I didn't even know you could do that. So, first things first, let's throw... Where is it? Those are scenes. Where's all that open? I don't need that open. Script. We want... Where's computer? Well, the computer's here, but where's the scripts? Camera 3D? No. Static body 3D? Honestly, we should just do... We should just say computer script. We should do... Well, camera 3D... might be the play. Just what we're trying to do is find a good way to interact with the object, right? So, by interacting with the object, specifically in the extent of I want to click it and it will zoom in on it, and then I click on the bottom of the screen and then I zoom out of it. And then it's the same for that being applied to all the other objects in the room, right? That's what we want. So, instead, what if we did Camera movement. There we go. And then we go back to computer. Camera movement is applied to computer. Then we're gonna double click computer, turns out. No, we're gonna go to the area. Then we're gonna hit input event, computer, connect. Oh, look at that. That's so much easier than putting it in manually.
But the property we're most interested in this tutorial is the event. In our function, we'll first check if the past event type is an input event mouse button type. If it is, we'll use the input event mouse button object's properties to check what kind of mouse event occurred. Anytime you need information about how to use a Godot object or function, you can press F4 to bring up a list of every object in the engine and get details about the properties and methods they own. Or if you want to know something specific, you can highlight something and press Shift F1 to find more details about it. From the input event mouse button object, we'll use the button index property to check which mouse button was pressed, and we'll use the pressed boolean to check if the button was just pressed or just released. You can also use the double click boolean.
You know what? This guy gets a like. He's going into detail in such a way that he's explaining even the little things that he's doing in between, and I appreciate that, especially someone who's new at this, but also someone who wants to also make videos of things that I've learned, right?
To check if the area has just been, you guessed it, double-clicked. I'll use these properties to write some code that will print a message to the output console every time we left-click our sphere object.
Okay, let's see here. Let's copy that and let's see how this goes. We'll do if event. There we go. No? Yes. Okay. This is what we want. If event is input event mouse button, then if event button index is equal, I think double equal is equal to button left. Did I spell button right? I think it's mouse button left. Let's do that. Mouse button left and event. Oop. And event pressed equals true. Then it's print pressed left mouse button.
6 in tester game, there's one more important thing that's easy to miss. By default, our area node doesn't listen for mouse picking events, so we need to enable it. To do so, click on the area node, and then in the inspector, check the input ray pickable on.
Okay. Maybe that was also what we were missing here. Collision, input, ray pickable. It's already on. So let's see. Let's check it out. Script inherits the native type camera TD, so it can't be assigned to an object of type node 3D. Because I switched it off of camera 3D, does that mean we have to make one for every object? That seems a little arduous. But maybe that's the point. Maybe we need to make a script specifically for each object because that's the interaction with that object. Extends computer. No? Area 3D? Node 3D? How about that? Is that better? Come on. There we go. No. At least not yet. We might be missing something here.
Unbox. Now when we run our game with F6, every time we click our sphere with the left mouse button, we should get a printed message in the output console.
Interesting. We did not get that. But why? Maybe we need to do area 3D? I don't think this really matters, but we can give it a shot. No, it has to be node. Let's try that again. Maybe because it's not in the main game scene? No, it's here. It's at a different scene, but it's here. On area 3D input event, if we have mouse button left, event pressed equals true. Print, press left button, mouse button. I mean, that seems to make sense to me. Let's press all the other buttons. No. Is it because we're looking through it through the computer lens or the camera? Should we remove? Let's detach the script from the camera. Now let's give it a shot. Let's switch this to computer movement. No. Computer camera movement. And then now. Because this was what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a different zoom for each one. We have the computer zoom, which would allow essentially to have one place that would be applied to the camera, where the camera is like, okay, if I click this object, the camera will move. That was the intention. But we haven't even hit the thing of that allows us to just do it, you know? Mouse button left should be pretty universal. Let me try something. Come on. Where are you? There you are. I'm holding the button down this time. Yeah. Nothing. They did this on the computer, right? Or on the sphere? And then the little thing is there. Oop, sorry. And then, oh, wait. The air, I did the first two, it's the area 3D. No? I think I see it. So we made a quote unquote like box, and then we made a mesh for that. Hey agent, how you doing? I think we're missing like the 3D mesh here. No, you're fine. How did were you winning, son? Nice. Awesome. Maybe that? And then we computer mesh, just put it all the way back up. You're fine. With a non-uniform scale, this node will not function as necessary, but this is a uniform scale. Let's see. Let's see what happened. Is it because this transform is off? Do I have to do something like that? Weird. You're fine, you're fine. Trying to think what you missed. Just a handful of like Binding of Isaac stuff. You did rebel. Your guy in the game. I had to send you to jail. No, I haven't bought Crime Scene. I probably won't until right before we start playing it. Yeah, you got sent to jail. You were rebelling. You're lucky you weren't that other dude. There was a you were just saying how you don't like believe me anymore. So I was like, all right, time to put you in jail and then re-educate you. It's like, I am not you're not my god. And I'm like, all right, jail to you. At least you weren't that other guy. There was another guy. Yeah, right. Well, I plan on putting you into a new body once I get like a frog skin. Once I get that. There was another guy who literally, not in chat, in the game, he was just like, "Ha, you lost, loser," and then took my money. So I sacrificed him in the Midas area and turned him into a gold statue. I was like, yeah, no, that's totally fine. That's totally good. How does it feel to be solid gold? Oh gosh. The VOD is up, and I actually made a short out of it. So any of the socials you would be able to see. It's pretty funny. But it's a good time. What is it talking about as far as... There we go. There it is. Alright, we're good now. Now let's give this a shot. What games will I play? I think after... What was it? Today after doing your game? Oh, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if I'm... Because the goal is that we spend all 4 hours on game dev. It's just sometimes game dev is so taxing that I need a break. Probably more Cult. If I was to guess. To do more Cult of the Lamb until we're done with that. And then we'll move on to... What was that game? It was, I forget the name of it. Hold on. Let me switch off display just in case. Boop. Come on. There you go. You want that crime scene? No, I think I'm going to try out Voices of the Void. Crime scene... Look, the crime scene might be, if anything, it would probably be Sunday. Because Sunday are the days that, like, we pretty much play whatever game that y'all want to play. After we go over what we've been doing. But I don't think crime scene will be a, because there's so many other games that's just on the list. Win Sunday? After we go over the week stuff. So probably like 2:30-ish, my time. So 30 minutes after the usual start. What do you mean you're too stupid? What do you mean? I mean, usually we don't wait that long before we just jump into something on Sundays. So I've been getting faster and faster with that kind of stuff. Unless there's something like really big that we need to talk about. Don't know what is Sunday. And Poland. Well, what day is it for where are you at? What day is it? Are you a day ahead? Are you a day behind? I don't know how the time works. Right now, is it Tuesday where you're at? Alright, now let's do display. Yeah, it would be the same day. It would be Sunday. Hold on, I'm gonna get a refill of my shake. Be right back. Hoping Sunday tomorrow. You wish. You wish Sunday's tomorrow. No, today's Tuesday, so we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so 5 days from now? Yeah, it's the one at the end of the week. Sunday was 2 days ago. I don't know. But listen, the wait will be worth it. Alright, let's try to give this a shot now. No, I thought that would have been the answer. No. So close. And yet so far. Alright. Because we have the computer. Oh, maybe if we save and try it? This is a definite shot in the dark. There's no way this fixes it. Yeah, no. Nope. Nothing. All right. So we're bringing the Area 3D into the computer. We have a mesh with Area 3D collision shape. Computer mesh area collision shape. So we have everything that we potentially have. Yeah, it's the end of it. We ran that one into the ground. It was pretty good. And it is nice to like clean up. Like, I wish there was a little more variety to it, personally. Alright, let's see here. Can I, like... Oh, I can. Excellent. Alright. Fair. Fair, it was only $4. That's true. Let's see. There is no area, right? It's just Area 3D. Yeah, it's the same shtick. Do I need to watch YouTube? If what? What are you talking about? I need to be able to. How else am I going to learn if I don't know where to move forward? Besides, like, the Wikipedias and stuff like that. Do what solo? What, make your game solo? I'm trying to figure out a solution of why this thing won't highlight. So I'm watching some tutorials to be like, okay, where did I go wrong? There's nothing wrong with looking at that. It's okay not to know. You can do it solo. Bold of you to assume. Bold of you to assume, my guy. How much do you? How much coding do you think I have, as far as like background? Not much. I'll tell you that much. No. No, not a lot. Barely. Yeah, barely, dude. This is my first like game. I am new. I am green. Most of those streams, like the other streams that I have, it took me like a week. It took me a week in order to figure out how to get the menu working, my guy. Like, good a portion of those streams were bug fixes. Sure, 30 streams of things going absolutely perfectly, 100% I should be on it too. But it's 30 streams where a vast majority of it is like, oh no, what went wrong? Oh my gosh, what happened? Especially since we're going now into categories of I don't really know how to even start. You know what I mean? What about you? Do you have any coding experience? I was gonna say, you can help if you want. Or we could also just learn together if you ever did want to learn. Position, normal, shape, index. If events is input mouse button. Okay. You're too young? What do you mean? You're never too young to learn how to code. What are you talking about? There is no age limit in either direction to learn how to code. Why not? So? Are you saying 16-year-olds shouldn't know how to code? You're not stupid. Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you feel like you would have learned a lot of coding in 30 parts? Just saying. Yeah, exactly. So, you might be smarter than me when it comes to coding. You never know. See, I'm dumb in that I'm spreading myself thin. I'm making a game and I'm also playing games, so I'm splitting my time in half. Do I have VR? No. I do not have VR. Though it's always been cool. Expensive, my guy. Super expensive. VR? VR is like 400 over here. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay. I was gonna say, what the? You tell me. I mean, they have those like cheap ones. I don't even remember. I am assuming 400. Let's see here. If I look up VR headset on my phone. VR headset. Yeah, $500. $500. So $400 to $500. That's a hell of an investment. Yeah, but like, do you think I got that kind of money to just swing $400 on something? Especially since most of my time is spent on like this, like streaming stuff. I wouldn't even be able to really enjoy it all that much. Don't get me wrong, it would be kind of fun. As of right now, no. I've been focusing on getting all this stuff set up. No. Granted, I need to get on that. Bro is running out of money. At the moment, I'm not making money. Like 0. So I've been running off of savings from when I was working. Last time I worked was about a little over 6 months ago. I've been running off my savings. It is a long time. And in that time, I've started streaming. I've learned to figure out a schedule of myself, and I've been working on this game. VR videos are very fun, but I also live in a fairly small space, so it's not like I have a really big open space to play VR in. Plus, it's expensive. So it is fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's an investment in a lot of ways that I'm just like, it's not really worth. Like, where would I even be without me slamming my head against a wall or an object? You know? Yeah, I'll get right on that. I'll tell my realtor that it's like, yeah, I'm looking for a house where I can go play VR in. Or that I will rent a storage garage and just put it in there. Alright. If event is input mouse button. If the button index is button left, maybe instead of mouse button left, maybe it is just button left. Left shoulder, left stick, mouse button left. No, it's that one. And if it pressed is true, then you print pressed left mouse button. I can't say I've watched too many like VR YouTube videos. Wolf VR? I don't think I've heard of Wolf VR. So why won't it work? Do we have to do something with the mesh, I wonder? Let's see.
And set up a new scene, which that will be clicking in our game. I've test sphere mesh and made it a child of the sphere, but to be able to click our 3D object, our 3D sphere mesh can't do the job on its own. Only 2 dots. Add an area node. Notice the shape of our area. Those with configuration warning. But not to worry, just shape of this add. I'll do another. Don't worry about this if you create a new.
Something tells me it might be the end of the camera. I think there's something wrong with the camera that we put together. Let's see. Maybe? Maybe it has something to do with... No, the canvas lay and everything is fine. But there is something about... Because our current game right now has problems with the map being shown on the top left. I still don't really know why. Acre the dog. Interesting. Okay. I might check him out. Good on him. But something tells me I don't think that would have mattered all that much. 100k. Oh. He has 100k followers, but all of them are bots? That's unfortunate. Oof. I prefer real people. I'd rather have a low count with real people. But how do we get rid of this? So maybe... Let me see something. What if we did this? Input event. I mean, I have heard that some people kind of do that in the beginning to like pump up their numbers, because in order to get people in, sometimes you need to have higher numbers in order to attract more people, so then you get a real audience. It's kind of like a temporary substitute kind of deal. I've never been a fan of that. Raid bots? As in you get raided? And bots will spam you with followers? Is that something that you want? That sounds annoying. Oh. It sounds like a bad time. Why? Oh, is it because let's just do like pass? Oh, let's save. Let's do that. Because it's fake followers, and if you want to delete a lot of them, because Polish streamer gets bot right like 5 times. Oof. Yeah, that's kind of one of those things where I do have plans for measures for anti-bot raids, things of that nature. Question for the when there is a bot raid, do they spam anything in chat? Because if so, that could be used to be like, anyone who says this can be deleted accordingly. Well, I guess what you could do is just be like, any follower within the last like 5 minutes gets like insta banned. All right, now let's give it another try. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so it wasn't... So this part is fine. That's Canvas Later pause menu. Well, it's like small streams, but like 130 followers. Yeah. Luckily, I haven't seen too many of those. I don't think I've had any followers where they didn't say something shortly after. For the most part. Good. But from the sounds of it, it sounds like I need to have that thing prepped sooner rather than later, just in case, if it's that prevalent. I can look up some stuff to potentially get rid of that. So if it's not that, then what is it? I wonder if it's the viewport, maybe? Play with like subs or 100 points or whatever, like stuffs for points. Yeah. I do have a good amount of plans for channel points for y'all. Hopefully you'll like it. But I have to get to affiliate first before I can implement anything. See on the screen agent. I think I'm following you. Ready pass. Let's see here. You will know when who is following. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could also just... It could be, if it's... Especially if it happens all at once. It literally is just... I just go from the last... I just look at those recent followers when they joined and just be like, okay, everyone from this date, ban them all. Yeah. I have implemented some anti-bot raids for in the Discord, but I haven't done anything for stream yet because it's a little more complicated on that end. Even though Twitch does say that they have like security implemented and stuff like that. I think the things that I have more interaction with is fake accounts more than bots. And they'll have just kind of like very generic names, but then all they'll want to do is like sell stuff. Yeah, that's really been the only thing that's really been nipping at my heels. And for the most part, I've been like just treated them as just people. But it may get to a point where I'll make it one of the rules that I'm not going to buy anything from anyone. I mean, at this point I can kind of tell which ones are kind of like actual people versus people who just want to sell. Like, Did you summon that one, Agent? Was that you? Speak of the devil. Get out of here. Ooh, that's funny. We summoned them. That's what happened. That's really funny. Uh-huh. Dude, that guy was waiting. Ooh, boy. That's good. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna timestamp that. That might be worth. Hell yeah. So those guys, those are easy. Those are easy to be like, okay, cool, boom. They don't even do the follow thing. The other ones are the ones I'm talking about. They follow and they immediately try to strike up a conversation, and then they'll be like, hey, I have so and so profession. Can I send you my stuff? Yeah. So, and for the most part, I've been hearing them out. But at this point, it's getting to the level of like, all right, I think I just need to be like, hey, I'm not going to buy anything in the rules. Please don't go in that direction. And if you push it, then I'm just going to ban you. Yeah. I'm glad you're not one of them, Agent. Because I will say, Agent 4445 is very bot-like. If it wasn't for your obsession with cleaning games, I would have assumed. No bot hasn't that much of a obsession with cleaning games. It's the new AI test. Is Agent 00 your YouTube? Okay. Then I need to give you a follow. Hold on. Or a sub. Let me see. Let me find you. Let's see here. Agent 00. Agent 00 everything? Is that you? I don't... Well, let me ask you this. Do you have 750,000 subscribers? Because you have 0? Okay. I was gonna say, damn, dude, you didn't tell me you're that's big. Let's see. Do you have any videos? Because you said you're on YouTube, but that doesn't mean you have videos up. Because maybe that's why you're not popping up. You just sub on YouTube? Ah, so it's like your personal account. Gotcha. All right. Well, if you want to start making stuff, let me know. I'll sub to you. For me? Oh, you shouldn't have. Well, I appreciate it, but no pressure. Only if you want to see my stuff. I will say, I just put out a short form that is my first call to action that I've ever done. Aw, thanks, Agent. I'm not going to take that the wrong... the dirty way. But yeah, no, I appreciate support. Honestly, you being here talking with me, it's more than enough. And you wonder why it takes me so long to make games. Because we keep talking about cleaning simulators, Agent. But that's all right. But that's okay. let me put it this way, if I didn't want to talk with y'all and get feedback with y'all as I make games, I wouldn't stream making games. I would just do it on my own time off stream. Talking with y'all, like creating that kind of like interaction, like that's the sweet stuff. That's the good stuff. Vibers? What are vibers? Oh, speaking with followers is fun? Yeah. No. Like, talking with y'all is great. Like, for the most part, y'all have been really chill. Really good people. I have been raised to entertain myself. Like, worst comes to worst, like, it's absolutely, like, I went into this knowing that, at least for the most part, I'm gonna be doing by myself. Do I want to be rated? I've been rated a few times. Not like bot rated, like actual real people rated. None that really stuck around. No. I appreciate the support, but let me put it this way, like, the people that come to and want to stay with the chat or like my streams and stick around, I want people who, enjoy the things that I put out. If you feel, let me put it this way, if you feel that they would enjoy the stuff that I like, enjoyed the stream and enjoy what I put out, then by all means. But not if what I do isn't for them, then that's absolutely fine. Then I don't necessarily need it. That's fine. I tend to, I don't know if it comes off in a particular way, but I tend to, what's the word I'm looking for? Get along with people younger than me. Not like super young, don't get me wrong, but like 20s. And yeah, exactly. I was gonna say super young, but I'm talking to you who's like 16, so maybe. Nothing like that, of course, but the older crowd is also always kind of boring. That's true. That's true. You're not 13. Thank God. Yeah, like, I'm not, even though I'm making cute little dodo and animal stuff, I am not having my content be towards kids. And I try to make it as clear as possible that it's like, this is not a kid stream, these are not kid videos, these are, like, I cuss, I play horror violent games, like, I am not catering to children. And I do not want that. On Valorant, one game insta-lock Reyna, and he was saying a keyboard things in Poland. Don't worry, that's just the Ottoman pick. He was 13. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are kids with worse mounts than me, but there's a certain level of, you have to put that line in the sand if you are making your own videos, making your own content, that you have to pretty much be like, this is not for children. Please do not think that this is for children, because if you think, like, especially advertisers and like as far as like money coming in and stuff like that, if they think it's for children and then you start crossing lines that are not for kids, it gets bad quick. Yeah. No, and I didn't want to come off where it's like you are playing with kids. Valorant is very much a, like, I don't think it's really meant for kids. Like, even though that line's so hard to say for games nowadays. Yeah, I like to think of it as like, it's I wouldn't say new Halo, but it's similar to Halo back in the day, where you just have you just have multiplayer shooter. It goes to all ages. Yeah, Yeah. Valorant is just like, when it comes to like shooters, I've been decent at shooters, but it's just never been that my kind of game. I played a little Call of Duty. I played a little Halo. My brother was a lot more into the shooters than I was. He loves the competition. He's a lot more skill focused than I am. Now he just plays like the Soulsborne games and stuff like that. No. I have a brother, but I don't have a sister. Why are you asking, Agent? Why are you asking about my imaginary sister? What's your intentions with my imaginary sister? No, just a brother. But no. So, I'm much less of a competitive mindset. I'm much more of the crafter, gatherer, I'm gonna make a house mindset, and he's the I'm gonna go kick everyone's butt and not break a sweat mindset. No TikTok streamer. He does he's a personal trainer, so he's built like a house. He's a very strong guy. I work out with them every Thursday, which is why I struggle on Thursdays, because I have to get up really early. Can you see him? I don't have any pictures on hand. Plus, I have a feeling that would dox me, unfortunately. So, don't get me wrong. I will probably eventually show y'all what he looks like one way or another. Or, like, I'll take a picture of, like, progress with him, and then I'll be like, hey, this is my brother. I was considering having Sunday streams be, like, face cam streams as well. Because, like, from what I understand when it comes to PNG tubers and VTubers and stuff like that, it's there's two ways as far as face reveal. The first is you never show your face, ever. Or you show your face early and then people get used to that and then it's fine. Because if you don't do either one... Yeah, like the mod, like, granted, the only mod that I have in here is Cute Boy, but that's because I know him in real life. So, like, but, like, I plan on doing the face reveal early. So, it's just one of those things where I just haven't... Maybe I'll do it this Sunday. Maybe I'll do a face reveal this Sunday. I keep putting it off. No, Cute Boy is not... No, Cute Boy is not my brother. I was listing of people of... who've seen my face. Unless you were asking a particular something in which I confused you. If so, I apologize. You did see my face? When did you see my face? I don't think I've shown my face yet. Unless you've been stalking me, Agent. Are you outside right now? Have you finally come to the US to finally buy games? I was gonna say, I don't think I've shown my face yet. Certainly not on a live stream. I'm trying to think if any of the social medias have my face up. I don't think so either. So unless you something I don't know. Blonde with a mustache, tall, big house, big TV. You don't have to not have a pet because you can't go outside. You have blue eyes. Blonde with blue eyes, huh? Well, if I'm gonna move forward with a face reveal on Sunday, I can confirm that you are wrong on both accounts. I don't have blonde hair or blue eyes. So I'll give you that much. I'm not going to give you anything else. But remind me. Can you remind me on Sunday that it's like, hey, you said you were going to do a face reveal. And then we'll have a nice, chill stream. And I'll do a... Boy, I wish I had red eyes. You know how badass that would be? So I want you to think... Just come up with what you think that I would look like. Granted, just don't put me too high up. You know, if you know the situations where you like hear people and then you see them and like what they actually look like, you're like, oh, that's really not what I thought you looked like. But that's why I wanted to do it early, because the reason you'd never do it or do it early is because if you do it in the middle when things are growing, and then you release it, it doesn't tend to go well. Like people will kind of like pick on it. In a, not necessarily in a really malicious way, but just in a way of like, oh, you were really different in my head and now I can't unsee it. I'm not giving you any more info. I'm not giving you more. You're gonna have to come up. And I don't have eyes. That would have been awesome. To not have eyes? Imagine me being blind. It's like, no wonder I don't know how to code. Braille. The screen is brailled. I just touched the screen. Or what if I have like one of the world's worst superpowers and I'm blind, but I can read what's on a computer screen? And that's it. I mean, to be fair, if there is text-to-speech happening, I could function with a computer. And every comment that you would say would like text-to-speech to my ears and I would respond accordingly. So technically it could go that way. But, you know, I said I wasn't going to give you any more. So you're just going to have to guess. And then Sunday will... Hopefully I have a good hair day that day. I remember deleting one of these way back. And then it's like, oh, that was the problem. So let's do sub-viewport. That's and its children. I think it was last call map, if I remember correctly. I will delete that real quick. No, that was definitely not it. There you go, we're back. Button left, no. It was mouse, button left. Was it the viewport container? Sub-viewport screen, path, background, pathfinding. Pathfinding is fine. Animated 2D maybe? That's different though. Can I go to the 3D space and do this? Probably not, right? I wonder, hold on. Can I do something like this? I can! Okay. Alright, hold on. No, get over there. Okay. I didn't realize you could do it live. We're waiting until we can get this thing off the screen. On the top left. Oh wait, you don't see nothing. Crap. No. Okay. Oh, that's why. I don't have display capture on. There you go. All right, cool. So we can actually go through and just be like, cool. What is causing this problem here? And if you're wondering why I have many parts and why I'm not going forward with anything, it's because of this. Computer, mesh, no. So it's not viewport or the computer? Office. It's not the camera. All right, see you in a bit. Is it the camera slayer? All right, that makes sense. Well, the map should probably be its own thing, right? We should probably separate that out too. But we remove all of that, the map is still there. Why? Why is the map always on the top left? We kept on pushing it off for a long time, but like... Computer, that isn't it either? No, the main game is different. Police, no. Settings, static body 3D. The static body 3D is different. Let's put that in scripts first of all. Utilities. Settings, we're just gonna hit police. Main menu. Then action button, maybe? Ambulance. Audio manager. Computer. Okay, so there's something happening here. Let's see. Godot. What's it called again? Let's go ahead and exit this. Sub viewport. Sub viewport always showing. Let's see here, guys. For the life of me, I can't get the sub viewport to render its view to texture pragmatically. Nope. We want sub viewport is always showing. Why is no one else having this problem? Let's check viewport. Let's see if there's any geometry, global illumination, visibility range, transformation, container, stretch. All right, let's bring this back up. Let's mess with the... Okay. Top left. Okay. Oh? Where'd it go? Is it gone now? Why did that work? What? It was already on the top left. What? What? Okay. Full. Top left, top right, center. Okay, let's try it again. It's like whenever I change the anchor, it disappears. Okay. I'm just doing different ones now, just being like, "Ooh, what do you, bottom left. Full rectangle doesn't like it, but we're just gonna try full rectangle. Top left. Anchors. Can I, like, not anchor? You know? What is this? Enables reader rendering the canvas item based children should be clipped to its controller's rectangle. If true, parts of the child would be visibly outside the controller's rectangle will not be rendered. It won't receive input. Let's do that. Let's give it a shot. It's crazy. Alright, what happens if we do, like, based on locale? Left to right? Anchors preset. Interesting. Sub viewport, anchor, always showing. Let's see. Not really what I'm talking about, but yes, it would be clear. I will edit this post. Change your main node into a control node and set it to full rectangle layout preset. Then also set the sub viewport container layout to full rectangle to make sure the stretch property of the sub viewport is enabled. I would only use the default white node for things which are either 2D or nor 3D, or neither nor. So for example, attach a script for a state machine. You don't use it as a parent of 2D children unless you know you're going to be doing something deliberately. Here's where now I also had to edit some of the window properties to project settings, but it works now. Turn your main node into a control node. What's a control node? Based for GUI controls, adapts its position and size based on its parent's control. So the sub viewpoint container and sub viewport. Wait, it's container then. What do we have? Okay, we do have that. Okay, I thought I might have flipped it. Let's see. Okay. So inside the computer, we're gonna change. We're gonna add. Create. And then we're gonna name this viewport. Now let's see. All right, we're gonna have to Office computer viewport slash viewport slash. Office computer viewport quad. What's the problem? Would it be better if I just did this? Oh, wait. Is this better now? Okay, that's still there. Which is both meh and meh. And then what it was recommended. Change your main motion control node and set it to full rectangle layout preset. Then also set the sub viewport to preset to full rectangle. And make sure the stretch property of the sub view is enabled. So full rec. Full rectangle, and then it was like the stretch. Is on. Stretch is on. And then this is also it's under layout. I'm not seeing a way to canvas. No. GUI? No. Let's process. Let's try. Something tells me we're just gonna see a big gray whatever. Yeah. Nothing. We don't want to fill. Or we don't want to, because if we do this, see, that's still very much in the top left, top right. We don't want any of this. Like I don't want the anchor showing at all. But that's why I'm worried about the clicking, is that whatever is keeping this thing up, it's not like, what if we're always clicking in the sub viewport? What if that's what the game is considering? Like we're always in the sub viewport, so it doesn't matter what I try to do interaction wise, it thinks it's in the sub viewport. Because I noticed that when the clicking movement thing, it didn't respond to anything out here. It responded everything in here, which makes me think that this is not properly implemented, where it's treating the sub viewport is in there, and instead it's treating it as part of the camera itself. It's the screen itself is it, and that's not right. That's not quite right. Let's see here. Let's go to sub viewport. Let's look at this again. Isolates a particular region of a scene to be displayed independently. Okay. We can clear mode. We can update vector 2i. We can override the stretch. Always clear the render target before drawing. Never clear the render target. Clear the render target for the next frame. What is this? What are you? I don't know what that is. Update once. Update the render target once and then switch to update disabled. Update when visible? We might do update when visible. Because we want to make it so that you look into the computer. Granted, does that mean the computer's off? I don't know. Render target clear mode. Clear mode when subviewport is used as a render target. Width and height of the viewport might be value greater than or equal to 2 pictures on both dimensions. Stretch, stretch, shrink. Stretch, false. Virtual method implemented by the user. If it retains true, the event is propagated to the subviewport children. The propagation doesn't happen, it returns false. Function is not implemented, all events are propagated to subviewports. I think we need to do... Let's look a bit of a tutorial and see if we've done things incorrectly. Because I have a sneaking suspicion, consider it a little bit of a gut instinct here, that we're not going to be able to move forward with the interactions in the 3D world until we figured out the subviewport issue of it's not allowing us to like interact with this subviewport in the 3D world. "3D scene in 2D environment." Not quite. 3D object to 2D texture, maybe.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Show you where you goes. Create new and fold in this hash from it. So thankfully this is very easy to do. Create a folder for scene.
I have a sneaking suspicion we're making a 2D texture from a 3D object, is what I think this is.
Save as called perfect aim second mesh. This what and as a tool, and then we'll need first the mesh instance, then we need the camera and 2 Omni lights to shine some light onto our objects. So let's move that and set a little slide. We'd like to have our mesh that will be transformed into the texture in the center and as close to the camera as possible to get a clear view of our mesh. Hiring for little camera preview and download and install.
Little camera.
And then go to project settings, plugins, and enable it. And yeah, as you can see, it's great and it's already changing our life because we can just bring our arrow as close as possible and still have control of our scene. So that would work, but we would. So let's add a stuff and we will snap and export how should on 2D. You can see that what is currently being rendered in the texture like is nicer parent background, and then this is utilized and be really simple function for half a view and
yeah, this is not what we're doing.
Arrow
3D scene in a 2D environment. View all. Sub viewport guide. Okay. Maybe. Let's see this.
In this episode of Dark Star, I added the procedurally generated snowflakes to the Olympus dimension that I made a couple weeks ago in a software, and I'll make a builder. I have to open the script. Code generator does still work.
Not quite what we're looking for either. Say this interactive drawing. Viewport node. Maybe.
Alright, welcome everyone to this lecture. In this lecture, we're going to be taking a look at how to put what we're going to want to do is we're going to basically put something in our game, like so, right? Now, in order to do this, we'll just get started. And then we're also going to add a sub viewport. And then we're also going to add a sprite 3D. And that is pretty much all we need. Now for the progress bar, this is going to be the example that I use in order to represent my 2D thing. Now here, in my progress bar, I'm just going to extend this so that I can see it a little more. However, you still won't see anything if I put this into the sub viewport, right? Well, you'll see it right there, but the size, we want to make sure we adjust it equal to the progress bar. So what we'll do is we'll go to the progress bar's layout.
It's like inherited,
transform,
right?
And we'll set this to maybe 120 and 20.
Maybe not. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It might not be doing it because, whatever, it doesn't matter. I guess we're being forced to do 27. Okay, so we'll do 120 and 127, and now we will see the full progress bar. Now for the progress bar, I'm going to set the value to 50, so that way we can at least see 50%, and you'll see the progress bar. Now in the sprite 3D, we want to take our texture and select new viewport, and this will pop up, and it will select the viewport. And that is pretty much it. If we take our node 3D, bring it up a little bit, you'll now see that sprite. Now there's a few problems though, obviously. Here, if I play, we see that. However, if I move my camera, let's say move it like this, we move it at an angle, it's kind of not angled towards the camera, right? So what we can do, first we'll go to sub viewport, and what we want to do is get rid of the corners, because if we actually...
Do we need the viewport quad? I mean, oh, so the sub viewport container? Godot sub viewport container. A container that displays the contents of underlying sub-viewport child nodes. It is the combined size of the sub-viewports as a minimum size unless stretched is enabled. Because this guy didn't even use it, right? Do we need a sub-viewport container?
actually look here
I don't know, man.
and zoom in, you can kind of see the corners a bit. So we can actually go to transparent background. We'll also disable 3D. Now it looks a little nicer, and especially if you actually give it the progress bar a theme, an actual theme, because the default is kind of ugly. Now in the Sprite 3D, in the flags, we'll go to billboard and enable that. And now this will basically just look towards wherever we're looking. So now when I play, it will be looking directly at us. So that way it kind of follows the camera. All right, that is pretty much it for this lecture.
All right, let me see something. What if we did this? Oh gosh. Fine. Viewport quad. Then sub viewport. Sub viewport. Try it again. Okay. It's not there anymore. We didn't need the sub viewport container. Interesting. Why did I add a sub viewport container then? Did I see anything that says we needed to do that? It's gone. This clicking is no longer, it's not doing anything. Now let's get rid of the pass. Let's see. Excuse me. I think this was it. Oh, mother. It's probably a shortcut. All right, let's give it a shot. No. This was not it. Okay. Ah, it was definitely this one. Let's do that. Let me check something. Let's try it. It's probably gonna be like, you just yeah. Viewport, quad. There you go. Oh, gotcha. What? Let's do mouse button right. Okay, so that's breaking things right now. So we're gonna do pass. Yeah, so this is interacting. See how this is interactable here? But when we did it before, in resources, when we tried to do it before without the viewport container, the viewport container is the thing that is being interacted with. the sub viewport isn't being interacted with. So we need to find a way to get the sub viewport container I don't get it. I don't get it. Because the viewport container, it makes sense to me. I thought it did. I thought the sub viewport container, let's see. What is the sub viewport container used for? A control node, use and explain. Not videos, just all. Container used for displaying the contents of the sub viewport. Cool. I think it has a little more to do with that. Because without the sub viewport container, we don't have the ability to interact with the screen. Well, hear me out. We don't need to interact with the screen. Right? We just need them to see, we just needed to see it move. We watch it move. So we don't need to see what's on the screen or interact with what's on the screen. Because everything, so like when we look, right? Stop it there. Excuse me. All right. So here's the thing. So our thing is that we see it look. Wow. That was a sentence, idealist. We watch it move from place to place. That's why they're seeing this. If we want to see it move, we go down here to the number pad and we hit the numbers to send the right thing to the location that we just got the phone call, and then we watch them go. That's the point of this. This is to see them move. We don't need to interact with the screen. So I think the sub viewport container can and should be removed. Yeah. Because then we just see this. We don't see this on here. But we also learned that it's still not... We're still not clicking the object. We're still not clicking the damn object. So if we go... we're not deleting full that. We're going to that. And then we're deleting the U. I think I'm separating this into a different scene because I'm tired of doing all the way down. We'll just make a whole bunch of different scenes. Let's call map. Let's see. That's our thing. I don't think we need this viewport thing. Sub viewport doesn't really show anything, weirdly enough. Yet when we go in, we're gonna have to change it again, damn it. Yeah, here it is. We can see it. It definitely needs to add like a little more light behind it, but we see them moving. We see this moving, and there's nothing there. There's still... Wait, hold on. Let me see something. Let's move. Oh, not. Let's not remove. Let's just do that. Okay, so move to this spot is working. It's not responding. Interestingly enough, it was doing it like how many times? 3? Yeah, it's printing 3 times. Input action is press select. Movement. Let's hit the right button and see what happens. Nothing. Oh, granted, did I turn it off? I might have turned it off. Computer. Yeah, I turned it off. So the move to this spot works. Though it doesn't really do anything. Let's see if it works in the space not on the computer. It does. It's whenever I click. It's literally whenever I click. If input is just pressed, move to the position, move to target, and then it says move to the spot. So literally, instead of, it's not really, it's like get viewport, but it's not getting viewport. Get mouse position, it's not. It's just not doing it. Granted, we don't really need this. And this is pass. But for this one, we'll do left. What was it? It was input is action just pressed. Is input action just, is it all period? I am bad at making games. Let's just let's do this. Let's try that, because we renamed it. Okay, so the problem isn't not the button. It's the fact that it's not reading us clicking it. But why? Why not? We have the computer, we have the mesh, we have the computer, we have the computer mesh. We global illumination, geometry. Visibility process. We have area 3D, monitoring, monitorable, ray pickable. I can detect the mouse pointer entering and leaving. If the mouse is inside it, report input events. Requires quick collision layer. And we have a collision layer. We have collision shape. Top level. Should we put top level on and see what happens? Is it a layering thing? No. It's nothing to do with layer. If we look at, not from the perspective, technically, what if we did this? I was thinking maybe we're clicking inside the mesh instance of the player. But now I think we're back enough that I don't think it would matter all that much. Let's give it a shot now. I doubt that was it, but you never know. I'm just trying different things at this point. Yeah, no. Am I missing something? I feel like I did exactly the same thing.
Shape of the 3D object you want to be able to shape resource. Click on the shape resource to view these properties. The mesh, and then the node tab at the top of the inspector. The area node has an input event signal built into it. Now our job is to connect this signal to a custom script. When this signal or double clicking, and then running any desired functionality on our 3D object space spatial node. We'll create a script on our 3D object space spatial node. To start this, we'll create a script on our 3D object space spatial node.
Space spatial node? Spatial node. Spatial node. Base class for all scene objects. That's the part I don't really know. That's the part that grabbed me.
Check the type of mouse event, like left clicking, right clicking, or double clicking, and then running any desired functionality that we want to be associated with these events. To start this, we'll create a script on our 3D object space.
I mean, we did make one, which is this, which is a 3D node versus a spatial node. Yeah, it's not really a thing. So node 3D, because that's what this is. This is a node 3D. And then
Spatial node. Then we'll use the Godot editor to connect the area. When the signal fires, it will pass this function quite a few useful properties. When the signal fires, it will pass this function.
Let's make sure that it said the right thing. I can't imagine why it wouldn't have. Yeah, this is clicked. Yeah, no. This is what it was supposed to be. On area 3D input events, then if event is select and event is pressed, maybe this? Because we are doing something a little different. Press left mountain button. Bro, I don't... Why?
Quite a few useful properties. Mouse button type. To check what kind of function, you can press F4 to bring up a list of every object.
Let me see. Because we do have one that did work, which is this one. Which is a physics process delta. And it was if action is just pressed, select. Should we potentially do that instead? I kind of feel like what if I almost kind of feel like instead it's like if event is input event mouse button, if event button index equals, I feel like we could just do if this is pressed, then you print it. No? Is that, am I dumb? If let's see here. We're gonna do if then we colon it, then we print clicked left mouse button. Am I wrong? What's up, vibin'? Better late than never, my guy. Welcome. Watch me fumble over just trying to get this thing to read my mouse clicks. It's a pretty good time. How's your day going so far? I don't think it's detecting it. Why isn't it detecting it? Let me look.
Shift F will pressed boolean. Double click if the button was just pressed or just released. You can also use clicked. I'll use these properties to write some code that will print.
So it's like if the event happens, I am doing all right. I wish I could make some progress, but I'm not finding what I need. So the first we solved one problem. That one problem is the map isn't on the top left anymore. That was a problem before. So pretty much this most of the stream has been so far is trying to get it so that when I click the computer, what I want to do is I want it to zoom in into the computer. Similar, you could think of it very similar to like FNAF, right? Where I have these different objects to the right or left in the center, and by clicking the object, you kind of lean into that object, and then allows you to kind of interact more with it. But in order to even get to that point, I need to be able to know if clicking the object, it's even reading that. And right now, even though I seem to have everything good to go, it's not reading me clicking on the object. So we're figuring things out. Hopefully you've had more success than I have as far as design. Oh, I also started the stream today, and my mic wasn't being read by my computer anymore. So that was also a good start. So today was just been a fumble for the most part. But why? That one I just made up. That's fine. The one beneath it, though, at least from what I've been watching, should be functioning perfectly fine.
Test our game, there's one more important thing, that's events, so we need to enable it. To do so, click on the area node.
Right, the Ray Pickable node, which we do have already good to go. Ray Pickable, capture on drag, top level. I can't help but wonder, is it because I put it on a 3D node? I don't think it's any of these other things that are sitting, because all they have is pass. This is just nothing as of right now. What I originally hoped was that I would have one script that I can just apply, essentially copy paste, as long as it's just like, cool, if you click on this object, you'll zoom into this object. If you zoom on the phone, you'll zoom into the phone. If you click the radio, you'll zoom in on the radio, and then just go about doing it that way. But why? I was really hoping that the map on the screen was indicative of it blocking the inputs into the level. Thus, we needed to find the solution to that problem to then interact with the level. But it turned out no. No, that was not the problem. At least from what I could tell. We also need to find a different script for all of those. One thing at a time, idealist.
And then now when we run our game with F6, every time we click our sphere with the left mouse button, we should get a printed message in the output console.
I don't get it. Pick objects, interact with mouse. Maybe interact with mouse in 3D? Let's try this one.
First, we create a script for the camera. With this event mouse, and we get the position. So if event mouse button index left, if it's a left mouse button state, we say get world, get the array course, and that's where the mouse is. Actions directly from the camera. Project the break position again. So from the world space, we create an intersectory.
I don't think we need ray tracing and all that other kind of nonsense.
From the start.
We're literally just clicking a computer.
The key check down here. If I click on something, get a collider, static body, and stuff like that. So
No, not what we're looking for. Maybe pick objects?
In my previous tutorial, I showed you how to manage fire. For the ask to pick up and open a skeleton, I automatics will use magnet and set
It might be different. Interact with mouse. We already looked at that. Making an RTS selection box for selecting objects. How could I code a function that takes in 2 positions in a 3D environment and creates a box shape and stretches from one position to another? Interesting, but not what we're looking for. Help object interaction. Help with object interaction in 3D space, maybe? Trying to make it so that something happens when the player clicks on an object imported from Blender, but I'm not sure how to go about it. Or 2D space. You're going to need something like Area 3D or a static body or a rigid body, anything that inherits collision object 3D, a couple more I think. Next you need to give the node collision to a child and edit shape. Also create one of the mesh. You have them in Blender by selecting and hitting mesh button in the main preview up top. Gives you various options. Typically you want a simple shape. Then you connect to the signals provided by the collision object, namely input event. You can filter where the buttons are pressed. Okay, so we did all that. We have done all of that. You might have a control node lower on the scene tree, possibly. Something may be eating your input. Now that sounds like something that might be happening here. Oh, you're right. If I remove the UI, everything works like normal. Wonder if there is some option to let inputs pass to the UI. There is an option in a control node for input. I don't remember the name, but near the bottom, the choices are stop, pass, ignore. Stop is the default, so it stops inputs to anything else up the tree. Okay, well let's look, yeah? Let's go to the main game. Because we have the canvas layer, right? We have this. Input. Maybe focus? Tooltip? Where is it? I remember going through, we had issues with this in the past. Stop. There's an option in control, I don't remember. Stop is the default, so it stops input to anything else up the tree. Run your game, open the debugger. Click on the miscellaneous tab. There's a little box that shows you the last control you clicked on. Let's see if we could try to find that. Run your game, open the debugger, click the miscellaneous tab. Welcome back. How do we open the debugger? I mean, this is the debug. Click on miscellaneous tab. There's a little box. Hold on. Opening miscellaneous tab in debug. Godot. Debugger panel. Oh. Click control. Export measures as CSV. I don't know what this is. I feel like I should know how to do it, because if I learn how to make it so that I can figure out how to tell the game to tell me what's wrong, that's a lot less Googling and watching videos. The debugger tab opens automatically. When the script gives stack trace information about the state of the object. When you use buttons in the top right corner to skip all breakpoints. Errors profiler, visual profiler. Stop. Let's see. Go to the examples of forward. Network profiler monitors, video RAM, miscellaneous. Tab contains tools to identify control nodes you're clicking at runtime. Clicked control tells you the clicked node is in the selected tree. Click control type tells you the type. Okay, well, when I... Don't scare me like that. This. Save. Not seeing how I saved it anywhere. It's in the root main menu. Oh. Maybe it's telling me that I've been clicking in there. I'm on Fallow? What does that mean? Valorant, gotcha. Hopefully you are winning. Yeah, it would make sense. Force pass, scroll events. When enabled, scroll would have been stopped by. Let me see something. Let's go to utilities. Or settings. I remember. Yeah, everything's pass. Let's go back to. Let's put everything to pass, yeah? Pause menu. Filter pass. Mouse stop. Pass. Option. Pass. I feel like these should be stop, but pass. Alright, now let's try. Still trying to figure out how to get my buttons to go through. As of right now, I believe there might be something eating my inputs further down the line. So basically there are like layers that are just like, hey, so you know how like you open a menu, right? And you're like, cool, I want to select options or quit or settings or whatever. There needs to be something in the engine that tells you that you are not interacting with the game itself. You're interacting with just that menu. So the only thing you can interact with is in that menu. You can't interact with things outside the menu. So you're not swinging your sword while the menu is up, right? And vice versa. You don't want to interact with your menu when you're in your game. So it seems potentially that there's something that I have going on further down the line that is basically eating all my inputs as if the menu is up, even though the menu is not up. So I'm trying to see if maybe that's what's problematic. It's because as far as coding wise, it seems like it should be working fine, but it's not. So I'm still trying to figure that out. We'll see. Let's put the one that actually we got from somebody. And then now give this a shot. Miscellaneous. do 3 to game. Let's move this back to stop for the buttons, because I feel like the buttons should have stop. If you're trying to click a button, stop should be on there. Even though the buttons don't work. I spent all that time on the main menu. Actually, it took me like 2 weeks just to get the game to start. Because I spent the time, was like, okay, well, the menu needs to go first. So I did the menu, and then it took like a week and a half. Or it took only like a week to make the menu. And then another week to figure out why I can't open the menu. So it says that the main menu is what I'm clicking. Where are you? So let's see here. Mouse pass. 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 Ignore. Stop. I think the buttons are all stop. 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 And then settings. Pass. Main menu looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. At least from what I could tell. Pass. Was this it? Did we get it? Main menu should be pass. Oh. It doesn't. Oh, it read it. It read it this time. Before it wouldn't even give me the thing. Okay. All right. Alrighty then. Let's switch this back to, what was it? What was this man? Who is this man? When is this man? Where? Crap. Ah, no. Interact with mouse. I think this was it.
First, we created.
No. Crap. I lost the video. Ooh. 2D objects in 3D, icebreaker, so viewport. What was it? It was just clicking objects. I don't think this was it either.
In my private.
Nope.
Alright, welcome everyone to this lecture.
Nope, this wasn't it either. Where is it? We just watched it and I can't find it anywhere.
Hello, and welcome back.
Damn it. Oh, is this it? Yes, thank God. All right. What did you write again? Button left and event pressed. Let's see. Button left and event pressed. Invalid input mouse button? Oh. Oh, did he put it somewhere else with it too? Should we give my other one a shot then? The one that I made up? It's probably not gonna work. Oh! 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 It works! It works! Finally! We did it! It only took 2.5 hours. Actually, more than 2.5 hours. We've been trying to get this done for weeks. Damn! But we did it! Look, it clicks! Boop, boop, boop. When it's not on it, nothing happens. Oh, hold on. Nothing happens. And then we click it, it did it. And you know what the answer was? You know what the fucking answer was? It was because the main menu had a hidden little fuck thing on the mouse that made it so it stopped anything going through. Jesus, man. That's the biggest adjustment for me with Godot. Is that you think this side thing is just kind of like, oh, it's for extra, blah, blah, blah. The most important thing in the world is this inspector on the right. So every time I've tried to do something, and almost everything that I've, like, all the tutorials that I've watched, all the things that I've read, etc., they don't go into this on the right. The only reason I know about this is because one of y'all pointed that out to me, that are like, hey, be sure to put the pass on, otherwise it will just stop all the input. Like, that wasn't anywhere in the fucking tutorials. God damn! But we're good. We have made progress. We can click the fucking computer now. There's interaction now. Okay. All right. Sorry. That was a lot of frustration. Okay. So, let's see what the debugger looks like when I do it though. I want to see what it says. Wait, what? Really? That's really funny. Oh, what is this math class again? All right, so as it turns out, I may have misunderstood. Don't get me wrong, we still fixed the problem, but we fixed the problem on complete effing accident. So, from what I read online, it was that you hit miscellaneous to see what you're interacting with, right? You see like the click control and the click control type, etc. So I saw that I was clicking, when I clicked this, I was clicking main menu. So I'm like, oh, it's the main menu that's stopping me, right? So now it works again. It works now. And I was like, oh, thank God this said that this was interacting with the main menu. Here's the problem. That had nothing to do with it. That had absolutely fucking nothing to do with it. This just says main menu. The click control just says main menu with the control and root. It just so happened to also point to where the problem was. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. The reason I say this is just like math class is because I had a knack in math class to accidentally get the right answer. So it would be like, I didn't really know how the equation went, or I kind of did, but then I would make a mistake somewhere down the line, and then I would make a second mistake further down the line that counteracted the previous mistake. Like, consistently. I mean, like, multiple times a year. As I was showing my work on doing math classes, my teachers were often baffled of like, you got the right answer. You totally did it wrong, but you got to the right answer. And if that doesn't summarize my entire life, I don't know what does. Just stumbling through, not doing things appropriately, but things just kind of turning out okay regardless, is definitely my MO. Oh man, that's hilarious. And also additionally funny, my thing worked, and the one that guy made did not work for this. Granted, it's 4 years old, so it's probably old terminology and stuff like that, but like, damn man, look at that though. That is absolutely good. It clicks it, it reads it now. We can move forward. We have done the bare fucking minimum. That's what we've done. we have managed to click an object. Yay! We've clicked an object. Now what we could potentially do is make it so that we could test to see if the point and click actually works on the actual screen now. But not that it's absolutely necessary, you know? We don't need for that to be the case, but I'm just trying to think as far as next step. So now we can click this. Now what we want when it's pressed on the 3D event, we want the camera to zoom forward. We want this camera to move forward a certain amount of movement. Just a little bit. And we don't want it to snap either. We want it to move forward we want to almost cause like an animation, where it's just like, whoop, and then this becomes full screen. That's what we want. We want this to be the same as this, essentially. It's like it moves the sub view to the full thing, and then there will be like a little thing on the bottom, like a little bar that will be kind of overlaid, that is just like allows you to like zoom back out. Again, this would have been so much easier if that FNAF indie project on Godot was actually downloading appropriately, so we could see how they went about it. Granted, we're now getting into the round of like that would be useless. So we have now made it so it's clickable. Yay. Now we need to find a way to move the camera. And I think, okay, we're trying to learn as much as we can, right? So we're going to try to predict what we're going to find. What I am anticipating is we are going to need to call the camera. Like, we need to be like, hey, bring in camera or whatever to interact with. Have the camera be in here, and then we tell the camera to move like XYZ coordinates forward over a span of like 3 seconds or something, right? And then what we can do is then add like a little overlay to like the actual screen. Where is, oh, do I need to go like, yeah, camera, there you go. Boop. So like we zoom in, and then there'll be like an overlay on the bottom of the screen, click that, and then you zoom back out. And it's the same for each one of these, is that you turn and face and you zoom. You turn and you face and you zoom. And you turn and you face, you zoom, and you do all the objects here. And once we have that in place, then we need to have like the interactions within each one. So we'll need the phone will probably just be click the phone. Not gonna lie. The print here is gonna be a little more complex in that we can click the paper and it will zoom in on the paper, but it will unravel it, and then it'll allow us to like look at the past history of everything. So we'll have to implement something that's like, okay, a call comes in. Like we'll have to actually make the process, which is car comes in. I hope a car doesn't come in. A call comes in. A receipt is printed. Then after a decision is made, then you go over to the numpad and then you type the numbers on the numpad as far as what you want, which is like 2A, where it's like A, B, C are the different emergency vehicles, and then the numbers are how many you want to send to that, and it will automatically send it to that location, in which you will be able to see on the screen as far as how things are progressing, right? And then the houses will turn to a different color if we lose connection via the phone line, and that is usually an indication of it's been taken over, right? You're seeing how things are becoming more and more problematic. And then once we put that in, we need to create the system that allows that then tells the resources that are saying, okay, whatever number they put for this, send that many of A, and then this many of B, and then this many of C, and then send them out. And then also we'll have to put in a check to make sure that you are not sending more that you currently have. So we'll have like a supply, a list that keeps track of how many resources one has, and then it will check that list and be like, hey, is this, they're asking for 4 police cars. Do we have 4 police cars? And if the answer is no, then it will just be like, no. No, you can't. We'll need to find a way to reliably show how many resources are left. We could go in the route of it be actually being on the screen, kind of like an overlay in like at the bottom corner or something. I think I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to give a good reason why you would need to even look at the screen in the first place. Right? Why would you even need to look at the screen? I mean, we already went over this before, as far as why you would want to look at the screen and giving reason for it. But why would you need to? So we already covered that part. We already added like, oh, you see the houses start to lose. You see the resources go slowly. Adds tension to the game. It adds attention to the feel of it, as well as the increase understanding of you're losing the battle, right? But why would you need to zoom into that? If you make this full screen, what does that do besides give you a clearer picture? If you, like, for instance, when we pull this up right now, you see it. You see it just fine. Why would you need to make this full screen? Right? Like, why would you? Sorry, I'm loving the fact that I actually made that happen. Right? So a part of me wants to think like, well, what if the monitor is off? Because I know Qboy actually came up with a good suggestion a while back, which is you don't see the whole screen at the same time. Right? You have to flip between the different, you have to like, this screen is big. This is a big screen or something. And then it's like, if you want to move to each one, you have to go to each one. It gives you some information, but not the whole information, right? Especially when we're talking about the size of the map, as far as just, it seems a little tiny or it seems a little big, right? But if we make it so it's multiple screens, we don't have to nearly worry about that nearly as much. What we could do is there is a screen that pops up that is more of a synopsis screen. So like, oh, these are the things that are available. And it's very kind of like low tech. It's borderline a screensaver where you can kind of see like how everything's going. And then when you click on the screen to zoom in, then the map opens. Right? Then the map opens up, and then like maybe we do what Qboy said, where it was, you know, more fragmented, where it's in quarters, where you only see a fourth of the map at a time, and you have to click through the different sides of the map in order to get it. I'm not sold on the going to each quarter, because if you lose all the houses, it just means that you won't go to that quarter anymore. It doesn't matter to you anymore. It's not the same as some of the like, I keep on mentioning FNAF, but that's the closest thing I have to removal of information in this way, where if you remove the ability to see through a camera, it is in fact more dangerous, right? One sec. It's in fact more dangerous that you don't know if they're in that room or not. In this case, if you lose that part of the map, it's not more dangerous. If anything, it's less dangerous, because you don't got to worry about it anymore. The place, though, they're gone. They're dead. Like, there's no coming back from that. So like zooming into the computer, I think we need a little more reason in doing so than what we give it. The other objects, I think, are completely fine. Zooming into the phone allows you to see clearly who is calling, and that is how you pick up the phone. Like, the other ones at least have some kind of interaction where we would then require you to have to click that object and then click it again. So it's like, okay, I click the phone, the camera moves, zooms into the phone so you can clearly see who's calling and from what, like, we'll have maybe like a code or something with it, but you'll see who's calling, who the residence is, and then who is like supposedly on the other end of the phone, right? And then you click it, and then that's what starts the conversation. And it's the same with the receipt, where it's like, oh, you can kind of see the current call breakdown and all that, but you can click it again to find out all the history of every call that you've had so far, as well as any notes that you may have, right? And then with the numpad, that one, you first click it to zoom in, and then you can put in the code to allow you to bring, like, order the emergency vehicles around, like which ones, how much you need. And then for the radio, you click the radio, and then you click it again to listen or to turn off the radio, right? Radio might not be a zoom in, now that I think about it. You might just click it and click it on and off. But so computer, I'm still not convinced. However, us learning how to do the zoom in, starting at the computer, we're just gonna essentially copy and paste what we do with that with the other ones, right? If there is an easy way for us to zoom in on an object, I think that would be better. Because it's like, zoom in on blank object, and then it's like minus however much distance from that object would be so much better than just doing an XY coordinate move. Because if we did the XY coordinate move, then every one of these would be a little different. We would go to the computer, we would zoom in a certain distance, and then we would go over to the phone, and then we would have to turn and then angle that in a particular way, and then zoom in that way. And then the objects are gonna move. The objects are going to move. So because of that, like, if we keep it stagnant and not adaptive, whenever we move something or change something, we would need to then manually adjust everything. And that sounds like a fucking nightmare. So. Okay. So. Let's look up. I already gave this guy a like. He helped me out a lot. Get all these out. Now, Godot, zoom in on object. I want to make a 3D puzzle game. You may want to consider looking at a phantom cameras examples for inspiration. What's this? Phantom camera documentation. Dynamically switch between camera positions by changing priority value of the phantom camera. Make the camera follow a specified target using the positional logistics. Define duration and ease type. We might be cooking. Let's see. Interesting. I kind of like where it's going. We don't need anything this crazy. This is more tracking than anything else. We don't need tracking. We need click and response. Nothing crazy. Gotcha. I can't figure out how to get a camera to zoom in and out. Play on the camera. The problem is the player is way too small and I don't want to scale him. You can change the display settings out of the project settings. Gotcha. Attach a script to a zoom camera 2D node. It has a zoom property. Shit. It does, doesn't it? Oh, it doesn't. This one doesn't have a zoom property. Script change. Let's see. Zoom in on a scene. How did I get about setting the camera zoom to fit a vector 2 value? If you have limits already set properly, then I think something like this should work. Zoom property is kind of inverse. So camera.zoom equals room sized camera get viewport. I'm writing a platform in Godot that uses a custom level system similar to that of game makers. Have a room size variable. I want to automatically adjust the camera's limits. Pretty smart. If I understand this correctly, you want your camera zoomed to a specific value. How to make super smooth camera zoom movement? Maybe.
Hello and welcome back to the Dev One. Start the code. Your player will move. You can only move aid to the right just to make it lower this once we have it.
Let's see. So this one is specifically with the camera. See, that's the thing. I don't know, man. We have the computer zoom camera. We have computer camera movement, right? So we have the ability to change function 3D input event for the computer. But I don't know if the script needs to be on the object that I'm clicking or the camera that's zooming. Right? It seems like it should be both, but then at the same time, I do not know. I think I don't know. Because this one has the camera with the zoom, etc. But this is more tracking. Process delta, zoom speed delta, input event, mouse position. If the button wheel up, then you'll zoom. A clamp? Maybe it like sticks.
Obviously, you're not going to want a zoom in a game like this because there's really no point in having a zoom in a game like this, because I don't think there is anything for the zoom to do. Do it.
Not quite. Automatically zoom in to a tile map? Maybe.
Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to create a camera that scales automatically to a tile set.
Hello there. How are you doing? How do I pronounce your name? Macau? Excellent. What are you up to? I'm currently trying to, well, do everything. Currently at the moment I finally made the basic component of finally getting to click on an object, and now I'm trying to find the proper way of zooming in on said object after clicking, which may take another week. We'll see. Oh, excellent. What you working on? I love hearing what y'all work on. Let's see.
And we
Not quite what we're looking for. Yeah, not quite what we're looking for. Let's look more at Reddit. Checking every frame, the button's pressed. Can't zoom in. Camera zoom. Maybe. In a small 2D platform game, now you're updating the sprites. Awesome. That's great. I'm currently making a horror game where you're a 911 operator, and slowly the town gets taken over by people that sound like the people who used to live there, and you have to decide whether or not they are real or people pretending to be real as you slowly lose the town. But I love horror games, so that's definitely gonna be my first one. Pop up. I already have a dialogue set up. The dialogue is finished. I want to zoom back to the player. The object will disappear. So it has a zoom value. You could set the coordinates of the object you clicked and the zoom in the camera in. Does that mean that the script should be... I couldn't decide if the script should be in the camera or the object that I am clicking. At the moment, it's currently in the object that I am clicking. Or I guess probably both, no? Well, maybe I can't do both. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense. The camera's better? Alright. And maybe... Let me see something. If we go back to the computer... scripts, and I did an input event. Maybe go to source. No. So that means it would probably need to be in the same scene then in order for it to interact with it. Okay, so I'll need to rearrange the scenes a little better then, so that way the camera yeah. What we could do the separate scene is that the scene is for the viewport versus the actual separation of camera in itself. We could do it that way. Okay. Cancel. So we will put this, originally this was camera 3D. And then I changed it. So we'll do main game 3D. Camera 3D. No, let's go ahead and remove. No. Let's just throw everything in here back to this scene and then do it that way. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's see if I don't mess things up entirely with this. Common parent is null. Make this one Go back to the computer. We'll remove that script. Let's just bring that out. Can we move it back? Because we moved it into a different scene entirely for space, of course. But now I kind of want to move it back. If anything, it doesn't really... We should probably treat the sub viewport different. No, it should be under computer. If we move the computer, we also want the viewport to come with it. So it should be linked in that way as well. Well, that's not a good idea. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? There it is. Let's go ahead and... That one's linked. Let's see what happens when we try to do it on this. We're gonna do computer camera movement, but it's a camera 3D. Does it still work with this? If so, that would be so weird. It probably won't, but let's give it a shot. Yeah. It does not, but that's okay. I figured it would not. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go back into the computer. We are going to cut, paste, connect it that way. Unless... It still works. Excellent. Love to see it. Okay, so it doesn't need to be linked directly to the computer. It could be linked as long as it is the Area 3D interacting with that object. We're good to go. Okay. We'll just rename the scene then viewport. Yeah. Perfect. By the way, Macau, if you're willing to share, I have a Discord if you want to share your sprites that you're working on. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I love watching art that people do as well. But only if you feel comfortable. So the camera grabs focus. Okay, so in that case, if it's linked to the camera, I don't think we have to worry about it being camera only anymore, which is honestly great. So this is just camera zoom, or maybe zoom objects. Let's do zoom objects. Yeah. Just replace a placeholder sprites with sprites from an asset pack. Completely understandable. That is absolutely fine. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. I'm a little crazy in that I want to improve everything. So even though I myself am not, you know, I would not classify myself as a exceptionally good artist. I still try my best to practice as much as I can by doing that as well. Let's see, so we'll do computer zoom. Interesting. I wonder if we can do it where it's like the computer zoom is in the 3D event. I don't know if we could do function within a function like that though. So if input is pressed on it, let's have it so it was like zoom out. Camera.zoom. Let's see. Let's see what how other people have done that. Animate or tween the camera to zoom in and out. You can use an animation player or tweens. Check the documentation for a great sample there. Ooh. Alright. Godot. Tween. Lightweight object used to general purpose animation via script versus tweeners. The name is a tweener? What? Okay. Alright. Learn something today. Tweens are mostly useful in animations requiring numerable property of interpolated over a range of values. I understood that. The name tween comes from in-betweening. Okay. You know what? That actually makes a little more sense. So tween is more suited to be more suited than the animation player. For animations, we don't know the final values in advance. Camera, the zoom value is best done with a tween. Yeah, it sounds like tween is exactly what we need. A tween can be created by using scene tree create tween or node create tween. Tweens created manually, i.e. tween.new, are invalid and can't be used for tweening values. Tween animation created by adding tweeners to the tween object. That's gonna become I'm gonna hear tween so much that it's not gonna make any sense eventually. Using tween property, tween interval, tween callback, or tween method. This sequence will make a sprite turn red, then shrink before finally calling node queue free to free the sprite. Tweeners are executed one after another by default. This behavior can be changed using parallel or set parallel. When a tweener is created with one tween methods, a chain method call can be used to tweak the properties of this tweener. For example, if you want to set different transition types in the above sample, you can use set trans. Tree, create, tween. Use Unity for your game, but I'm going to switch to Godot for my next project. Nodes are confusing to me and how they work with scripts. So advice. Honestly, my biggest advice that I can give with Godot is, you know how all the inspector and nodes things on the right, if you're wondering why something isn't working, it's probably a setting in the inspector that wasn't set properly. Because I literally took, I think, straight up weeks to figure out why I couldn't click on an object, and it turned out that my main menu scene, I'll pull it up. The main menu node here, there's a thing called a filter that stops inputs to go through, and it was stopping any of my inputs to go through. And that's happened quite a few times where I'm trying to figure out a solution to the problem, and I'm finding like all these documentation and videos, and it looks like everything's going well, but it turns out that there was an inspector setting that wasn't set correctly that prevented things to move forward. So as someone who also has a little bit of background in Unity, that's been the biggest adjustment for me, is just the utilization of inspector. Oh, another thing was the project settings. Auto load. That was also an adjustment for me. I don't know if you can can I zoom that in for you? Apparently not. That's stuck small for you. I apologize. But in project settings, there's an auto load tab that unless you have certain scenes set up to auto load, your other scenes can't interact with it. So just a heads up with that. That was another one of those things that I couldn't find anywhere until it was just a random Reddit thread that I managed to find them talking about this, and it was like, it solved all my problems. So yeah, it's an adjustment. The only other advice I can give you is that you're learning a new program, so be kind to yourself as far as patience, and it may take a little bit, it may be a little bit frustrating, but you know, it's fine, and you'll be fine. That's been in kind of my experience as well, where it's just like, bro, why is it taking so long for me to do things? Everything could be a scene. Kinda. Trust me, I'm still learning by myself this stuff too, trust me. But as far as what I could tell with scenes is just like I think I'm being a little too lax on them. I think people are treating scenes similar to like folders in layers in like art programs, you know, where it's just like you should be using them a lot. But it's essentially a scene is like a thing to load is how I'm understanding it, where it's like, oh, so if everything that kind of interacts with each other is within a scene, but then you can also have scenes within a scene that can also kind of do it. I guess a good example is one I just was trying to figure out, where I had my mesh and my collision and all that on the computer like not be able to interact with my camera, so I had to move it from that scene into that scene. Can you compare the scenes in Godot to prefabs in Unity? It's been way too long since I've done any Unity stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have enough expertise to give you insight. Sorry about that, Macau. The only thing I can recommend is just try to interact with it as much as you can, and then you can be able to differentiate the differences yourself. Or watch me stumble. You know, either or. I am far from an expert, but I'll give you any information that I can give. Trust me, I've been stumbling, so you're fine. Know that you will definitely not look dumb compared to what I've been dealing with. But no, you're gonna do good. You're gonna do great. So what kind of platformer is it, if you don't mind me asking? Let's see, we want zoom. Oh yeah, we're gonna do tweens. Something that I've never done before. Most tweens can be chained, that too. Long example, tween is bound to the running script node, default transition. But the tweener, I can't get over tweener. I can't get over that name. It's so weird. Another interesting use for tweens, animating arbitrary sets of objects. Create tween for sprite in get children. Tween.tween property sprite position vector. The example below, all children of the node are moved one after another to position 0, 0. Okay. You should avoid using more than one tween per object property. If 2 or more tweens animate one property at the same time, the last one created will take priority and assign the final value. In my game, you are a grandma that needs to dodge incoming vehicles on the highway. My god, no grandma! I could send the itch.io page if you're okay with that. Yeah! Yeah, if you don't mind. I'd love to see it. That sounds funny. Hopefully it's meant to be funny. I was like, no, it's a super serious. Alright, let's look. Oh yeah, look at this. I love it. It's so charming. Ah. You have like different cars and everything. Good job, my guy. You're doing great. This is good. Hell yeah. Of course. Oh, thank you for the follow. All right. What was I doing? I was doing something. Oh, and also thank you for a follow. Appreciate it. Crap, what was I doing? We were looking at the tweens. I was learning tweens. That's what I was doing. Yeah, that's why I'm in here. Okay, I'll peek back the rubber suit just for you, just a little bit, in case you're a little confused. There we go. See? Hello. Yep. Thank you for the follow, Alexis. I appreciate that. All right, and now, see, I feel a little naked, so I'm gonna put it back on. No, this is the duck costume is a kind of poke at rubber duck debugging. You guys know what that is? Yeah, exactly. So I figured if I have more rubber ducks, I could solve all the problems that I am having. Besides, she looks cute in a onesie, so I can't say no to that. But yeah, Paleomancer's Dodo. So Ray's back. She was brought back. Does it work? I mean, it kind of worked today. We moved forward a little bit. Currently, I am making an indie horror game based around a 911 operator that the town slowly gets taken over by people or creatures pretending to be the people that they call, and as the town slowly gets taken over. So at this particular moment, I'm learning about tweens so I could actually move the camera towards things that we click in objects in game. But yeah, what are you up to, Electus? Yeah, that's because I have the display capture. See? No, this is Godot. Yeah. Linux, that's... yeah. No, I do the display capture with game dev days just because it's such a hassle to flip between the different like going from instructions, and then when I actually play the debug version of the game, then like it doesn't show. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So unfortunately, you just gotta deal with that. Sure, it's really not much. It really is, but by all means. That's it. It's not much, but it's there. And when I click it, it says clicked laugh mouse button. Oh yeah. I don't want to brag, but it's it's interactable. I've only been doing this since, God, April. Granted, I only spend 2 days out of the week doing it, but still. This is a game, yeah. Yeah, look at it. Look at I have objects. I have things. I have a map. I have a cursor. I have things happen when I click. I don't want to brag, but you know, kind of a big deal. No, it's still a long ways to go. But I will say there's been a significant amount of time where I'm just like, why isn't this working? And then I spend like days like trying to figure it out, only to find out the wrong node was clicked in a random thing that I made. And it's like, there you go. That's the answer. So let's just be how it be, man. Game dev's hard. And I'm certainly not a professional. What about you, Alexis? The game is about a 911 operator. You are trying to prevent the spread of these creatures that are killing and pretending to be the people that they have killed, and you have to decide if the person on the phone is a real person or not. And you send the police vehicles accordingly if you think they are a real person or not. Yeah. I like the idea. It's just taking a while to execute it. And here I thought it would be like, that's easy. Whereas like, that's a good idea. I'm gonna finish that in 3 months. No, not even close. And thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Yep, you know what? That's true. I have no doubts. I have no doubts anymore. Now that Electus, now that you've approved of the game that I'm making, we're good to go. We're just gonna go full speed. What about you? Have you made anything, Electus? Let's try to bring out the tween. 2 or more tweens animate one more property at the same time. So we're not definitely not gonna do 2 at the same time. Oh, awesome! What you working on? Tween animate if tween kill? Oh, you can kill the tween. Interesting, I guess. Second axis, each type. Twins are not designed to be reused. Trying to do so results in undefined behavior. Okay. Oh. Crap, we were actually going to do that. You're remaking the Clippy Assistant of Minecraft. You have my curiosity. How and why? Is it not a paperclip? Update. Make an update for your main RTS game. What's your main RTS game? Find node, chain, float, variant. Ugh. This is the part that makes my eyes blur. Finished. Emitted when tween has finished all tween. Such a funny word. Never emitted when the tween is set to infinite looping. Okay. Emitted when full loop is complete, providing the loop index. A dev behind. I didn't even know about World War I, like all the historical real-time strategy game. Oh, that's awesome. And I guess you have a fan to Electus. I honestly didn't even know this was a thing. Granted, I haven't Googled Clippy since I was like 11. Oh, what features are you considering? Especially with AI the way that they're turning out to, you could probably do some fancy stuff with it. If you're going in that direction, that is. You like a paperclip? My god. So bold. Clippy like a paperclip? No. I refuse to believe it. I wonder what today's version of a paperclip would be. I can't think of what it would be. I think we're just moving away from paper. We're just going all electronic. Let's see. Pause, stop. Oh god. That we're just gonna go beyond that. Tween chain. The AI is not much good. Are you gonna try to dip into the AI a little bit? Learn AI systems and learning algorithms and all that stuff? I mean, AI is real hot right now. You probably have a good amount of resources you might be able to dip into. I'm trying to think what would be beneficial for like an assistant. Definitely like text to speech would definitely be one in my brain, where it's just like the ones that like Clippy gets to talk to me, you know? Like he can says latest news, makes jokes, tells facts, sends email, plays music. Oh, nice. Latest news is bold. the rest makes sense. The latest news is bold, especially with the news being that it is, or at least over where I live. So let me ask you this, Electus. What's Clippy, the new Clippy's favorite instrument? Musical instrument. Unknown, tween chain, custom step, get loops left, interpolate value. Oh no, I don't know what this is. He can't play an instrument? Oh. He can't play an instrument. Or can he not play instruments yet? He plays MP3. That's pretty funny. That's good. No MP4, huh? This is for manual interpolation of value, and you don't want Tween to do animating for you. Okay, we definitely don't want interpolate. Void pause, set E, set loop, set parallel. So we want Godot, tween, camera, zoom. Do you have any other projects? At the moment, no. It's pretty much just this. I mean, there's other projects that I'm working on, but they're not game dev related. They're more like art or lore as far as background with the VTuber stuff, and then when I'm not doing game dev stuff, I'm also, playing games. So I've been essentially dipping my toes in a lot of different puddles, for better or for worse, I suppose. But as far as game dev, it's just been this horror one for right now. Go for it. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and move this back to that. At least until we can figure out what we're going to do about it. Yes. Or at least this is Mama Dodo. I'm currently speaking through Mama Dodo. I'm still working on the main model. Yes. Well, not... Is it from PC? I'm pretty sure Dodos were like 1600s, 1700s? No? Hold on. When did dodos go to extinct? Yeah, 1681. Yeah, it was only like 300 years ago. Ish. It was definitely not BC. I mean, granted, there probably were dodos BC. More than likely. What video games plays like in 1600s? Bold of you to assume that old dogs can't learn new tricks. But I guess to answer your question, just survival games. I guess would be the equivalent of 1600s. Island life. Just survival. Eat and then raise young and try not to die. Granted, I don't think dodos had natural predators. In their life there. Yeah, exactly, like Ark. Actually, Ark was one of the big reasons why I chose Mama Dodo to be the kind of like the spokesperson, because I'm known as the dodo farmer for Ark, because that's the first thing I do whenever I do it. Oh man, I liked Ark. Ark didn't really like me all that much. So I didn't do a whole lot of PvP. It's hard for a dodo. I mean, it can be, yeah. Like, why do you think we need all the help we can get? This is why we do the rubber ducks. This is why we have the onesie. This is why we have y'all. You do like the art? Well, I'm glad you like the art. I very much appreciate that. But in paper. It's been a transition moving from paper to digital. I do like layers. I like the process of it, but I do miss like pencil on paper, which is why I actually bought like a thing to put on the tablet, like that kind of adds texture to the screen, and that's helped me a lot. As far as like the transition has been a lot smoother because it feels, the texture is a lot better. Show materials for digital art. Is there a particular reason? Do you just feel like you're just not up to the level you want to be? Because you could always practice if you want to get better with it. I always advocate as far as just, it's okay to be bad at something. As long as you keep working on it, you won't be bad. I mean, look at me. I'm still bad at a lot of things, but I'm an advocate for work. Just continue working. You can make a statement of, hey, you know what? It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. There's a good amount of people. I mean, do you know the webcomic Cyanide and Happiness? That entire webcomic is based around stick people. Then you'll be fine. Don't put yourself down. I bet you have more than you think you do. We often see our creations in the most negative mind space. You see the flaws. And if you don't like it, then practice. Work on it. And you'll only improve. As irritating and frustrating and that may be. It's not an easy process, but to me it's worth it. How can I create a panning and zooming camera? Maybe? Create a panning and zooming camera like this. Thank for one explanation. Try the script. Figure zoom in and zoom out in camera drag on an input map. I'm not making art recently. Well, is there anything that you could potentially work a little bit of art in? What does Clippy look like? Software and music? That's awesome. I'm hoping to get into music soon as well. We'll see how well that goes. I'm gonna open the FL Studio and just be like, what the hell am I looking at? Oh man. Because I gotta make my music for the lore video I'm gonna make. So it's on my list of like it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be good. But that's okay. I've luckily gotten to a point where being bad doesn't stop me from trying. But let me tell you, that's taken a long time. I can post a link of Clippy if you want, by the way. Sure. Yeah. Simply change the property of the camera 2D. Also, in position the camera 2D, current mouse position. Now you need to find it. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Send it, because the Twitch might stop it. My Discord's in the socials. Feel free to send it in there if you want to do it that way. Simply change the 2 phone and the kitty also in the position of the 2D to the current mouse position. I understand the laziness. No worries though. Okay, sounds good. And then you'll know next time I make games, which should be hopefully Thursday, if not Friday. For inertia planning, I see position smoothing enabled. Position smoothing speed, which will help find the inspector on a camera 2D and the position. Assuming with the mouse wheel. I think we just need. Let's open this one again. Let's open this guy. So we have zoom speed, zoom margin, zoom in, zoom max, zoom position. I don't think we need position. I want to use Godot too, but my computer doesn't want. Is it just too like demanding for your computer? Because I thought Godot was on the lower end, especially compared to like Unreal Engine or something like that. Or are you on like a different operating system? Graphics card problem? I'm sorry, my guy. Godot has been a learning experience. Yeah. It's been. I've been liking it. The coding, the GD script is actually kind of nice. But it's been an adjustment. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but so what did you make Clippy on then? Or I guess maybe you just made your own program for it. Were you just using Unity? I don't know if your card supports Unity. I don't know if it doesn't support Godot. It might not support Unity. Process delta zoom X is the lerp. Gosh, I'm now gonna have to look up what the lerp is. Oh, is that that's interpolation. Oh. Libraries and frameworks, that's all? Non-engine thing? I assume so, because you said libraries and frameworks. I had no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, bookcases? You make bookcases for libraries? Is that what I'm understanding? Now you definitely know more than what I know about. All right, so we want to stick with tween. We don't want to do that other one. Or maybe we just copy paste and see what happens. Well, the problem with this one is that they control it with the mouse wheel. We don't want that. Like languages DLC for making other things with the language. Oh. Okay. So kind of like Python? Where you're just kind of making your own thing with Python? No, you're fine. I understand you fine. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? If you're not comfortable, you're free to not tell me. Yeah. I was gonna say I'm aware of Python. From Turkey. Oh, awesome. Well, welcome from Turkey. I have a few people from... I'm from the US. I'm from the States. And I have a couple people from out... I wouldn't say near y'all, but I know I have a couple people from Europe. I have a handful... Surprisingly, not too many people from the US. Hey, no. We're different from turkeys. Thank you. We're more delicious. That's why we went extinct. And before you get any ideas, I don't got... Mama Dodo don't got flesh anymore. Alright? It's miasma and bone. So don't get any funny ideas thinking that Mama Dodo looks oddly delicious in her duck onesie. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. I think we're just vibing now. Let's just do this. But yeah, no worries as far as English not being your native. I can understand you. I mean, 95%. So you're absolutely good. And if I don't understand, I'll be sure to follow up and ask. And let me know if there's anything that you don't understand that I'm saying. But that's really cool that you kind of... What's the 1%? I mean, nothing that I wasn't able to like extrapolate, like just figure out just by being like, oh, okay, they meant this. So it's fine. Well, that's good. I think we're on the same. I think we're on the same wavelength then. Hell yeah. But that's really impressive that you're able to kind of like that you've kind of made your own thing and you're in the process of making even more. Especially with the limited software that you've been kind of handed. Honestly, use this. I am absolutely fine you utilizing my stream to practice English. That is absolutely fine. Just promise not to post too many stuff not in English, because I still need to moderate. I still got to know what you're saying. But yeah, no, wonderful to have you. I've kind of got defeated. I was like, I'm not gonna move any more forward before we end stream today, so I might as well just talk to y'all. Stop trying to make it happen. What I will do though, this is what I will do. I will do I'm gonna add to my to-do lists to create tween for camera movement. Because sometimes there's a good amount of days between the last time that I did game dev. So there's been a couple times where I would do the stream and I'm like, what was I doing? Who am I? In hindsight, what I should have been doing essentially this whole time, stream-wise, is essentially just do game dev every time, and then whenever we hit like the inevitable my brain is too wrinkled, I need a break, then we switch to games. Doing the half and half is kind of stagnated the game dev, unfortunately, which is unfortunate, but you know, learning experience. But I'm just glad we got to move forward. Talk English because you only know English, but I talk English because you know only English. Alexis, you have a very good point. Don't get me wrong. I've never said that. No, you are definitely smarter than me just because you know to. Was it 2 minutes to time this? I didn't say that was a waste. It was just good. But no, no, you're smarter than me because you know more than one language. I only know the one. I only know English. I know a little bit Spanish. I know only Gesundheit in German. And that's about it. So, not a lot. Language has always been difficult for me, though. But I think it's difficult for a lot of people. So I guess I'm not anything special. But no. That's another reason why I'm like, by all means, broken English is absolutely fine. If you're not confident, it's absolutely fine, because you're trying to learn. You're trying to develop that skill, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I also like German. I wanted to learn Italian when I was in high school, but I moved. See, I made the poor decision that in high school, the language that I learned was Latin. So I thought it would help me in science. You started software like 4 years ago? Are you 13 now, Electus? Or did you start when you were 13? Because so, if you already made stuff and you're 13 years old, you're doing a great job. Granted, you're still doing a great job if you're 17 and you're doing it too. You started when you're 13? Okay. Hell yeah. It's still really impressive. What got you into software? Is it just you just really like computers, or are you hoping to like get a good, like really good paying job, or what kind of made you go into it? You were interested in computers when you were little? Yeah, I wanted, up until 13 years old, I wanted to be a paleontologist. And then I wanted to be a doctor. And then I went into science. So, like, for most of my life, I've been in the science. I've been in, like, biology area. Like, as far as game dev and streaming, that's relatively new. That's essentially been the last like 6 months or so. But that's awesome that you've had that kind of curiosity and you've really dove into it. It's really exciting. Are you still in love with it? Of course. I mean it. As somebody who has too many passions and gets pulled in too many directions, I have mad respect for those. Oh yeah, no. I was saying, do you still love it? Sorry, my apologies. Do you still love being in working with computers? Good. I respect those that stick with that fall in love with one thing and they stick with it. I love too many different things at the same time that I get pulled in a lot of different directions, so I have a lot of respect for those who are able to stick with one. Because I can't. I love game dev, I love art, I love music, I love so many different things. So that's why you find me doing a lot of different stuff. I just try to focus on things where there's enough overlap. So then as I work on one, that's why I actually like art, because by improving on my art, I make better models for streaming, I make better stuff for gaming, and I'm able to kind of dip that passion into improving multiple different other facets of my life. And for the same for streaming, where it's just like learning how to like talk to people and build a community. I can help build confidence in other fields. I have dope materials for the digital art. Yeah. I was gonna say, do you have like maybe like a tablet or something, like a little iPad or tablet or thing? Because I know Procreate is free. Because there's some free art stuff out there. You need digital art to make art for my game, but this looks looks impossible. Yeah. Probably a board. Maybe. What do you mean by board? That's true. Mouse art is art. It's a little awkward, but it is art. Drawing board tablet. Gotcha. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I follow you. But no, that makes sense. I mean, if you don't have the tools, that makes it difficult. But potentially what you could do is like draw it in person and then like take a picture and then put it in that way. And you can just like crop it out or something. Potentially maybe do something like that. Because I think there have been a handful of games that were essentially made through drawing in real life. If that is kind of the style you're going for. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing more about it then. I won't tell anyone. I'm gonna steal it. It's mine now. I'm gonna do it. It's my paper game. You're absolutely fine. All right. Listen, it was wonderful talking with y'all. I'm gonna be stopping stream soon. So thank you for joining. It was wonderful meeting y'all. And hopefully we'll move a little more on the game dev stuff. So, with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week if I don't see you again. And I'll see you Thursday, hopefully. All right, get some sleep, Electus. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Of course. Anytime. Take care.